Alright guys, well, I'm about to clean up in here too. I got a lot of work to do around here before I can even get started. I can't work in a mess. Some people can work in a mess. And it's not worth it for me. It's too aggravating. I'd rather take 30 minutes and clean up, straighten everything up before I get started. Makes my day a lot easier. So let's go ahead and clean up. The best part of the day. Alright, so I got it cleaned up in here, and I'm going to go ahead and start working on the old trailer wagon. I'm going to get the steering wheel cut off, figure out the geometry of the steering, get the frame ready how I want it. I got some ideas on how I want to do it, so we'll see. Alright, later. Well, it's still just a little smoky in here from all the welding I did, but alright. I got my little cross member welded on. I got this cross member right here welded on. I got this cross member welded on. We got these two little pieces welded on the back there. I got this piece tacked on, but it's just a little bit farther to the left. I kind of was in a hurry and was trying to eyeball it. Looks like it needs to move over. Well, that looks pretty good. I'll measure it later and see if it's in the middle or not. I got these pieces on. So she's pretty sturdy now. There's no flex in the roll cage. She's not removable, but I think it'll be fine. If anything, and it's too much weight with the trailer, I'll throw a 420 on here with a 40 series torque converter kit. We'll see. If need be. Alright, well, it's the next day, and I'm going to get busy on this monstrosity that I got to do. I'm going to go ahead and finish the seats today. They will be done today. No more procrastinating on that. I'm going to pull the motor off. Get the motor pulled off, the throttle cable, the chain, the wheels, tires. We're going to grind it, sand it, and get it ready for paint. Throw a little paint wheel on there. Woo! Woo! Alright. Anyway, enough playing. I got work to do. Later. Okay guys, the first thing I'm going to do is remove the throttle cable. So it's going to require pulling your choke and your gas all the way to the rear of the engine here. So that's basically turning your choke on and your gas off, and removing these two 10mm bolts right here. Alright, once you get them two 10mm bolts off, you're going to want to slide this off. Sometimes you'll have to put some pliers on there to get that little hose clamp off. Sometimes it'll slide right off. You've also got a little vent hose coming off the back of the crankcase there. Alright, once you get your air box off, just set it to the side. She's a little dirty. We've been playing on it a lot. sure you can see that. But now that that's removed, I can remove my throttle cable there. I left some electrical tape on the end of my throttle cable because I have a little piece that I'm going to put on the end of my throttle cable. Just kind of saves the life of the throttle cable. I like to do it to all mine. So I'm going to cut my zip tie off that I'd put on there for temporary purposes only. Next, you need your 10mm open-end wrench and your Phillips head screwdriver. We're just going to take our throttle cable out of there. Set that to the side. This just holds the throttle cable in position. Alright, we have our throttle cable removed off of the engine. Next, I'm going to tighten these back down just a little bit. I'm not super torquing them or nothing, just so I don't lose nothing. I don't want the screws to fall out or anything. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and throw the air box back on it just to keep stuff from getting in there. Alright, I got my little vent hose back on. This hose on top of the gas tank back on. Go ahead and turn them back to where they should be. I'm going to start these with my fingers. Just throw a little hitting on the wrench. Alright, throttle cable's off. Let's pull the engine. Alright, so on all my engines I use lock nuts. And I'm going to go ahead and pull these off now. Keep a washer on each end and a lock nut. It's kind of hard for me to see. Kind of did that so y'all could see and not me. Huh? It's okay. It'll be fine. We'll make it work. So I got two on this side also. I'm going to go ahead and remove. Alright. Make sure you guys can see. I don't need to see. I can do this by feel. Got washer. Oh. My washer's in there somewhere. Alright, well I just lost a washer somewhere. Oh, there it is. Now, I'll go ahead and take the chain off. Alright, so next I'm going to remove the keyway. You see I have a half a link and a link in this thing. I've seen a lot of people asking about the half links. You know, when you're about a half a link away, they do sell what's called a half link. They're not very good. They will break, but for what I'm doing, if it breaks, it breaks. I'm not worried about it. I have more. I'm not out here racing this thing. This is not a racing cart. This is just something for me to putter around in my yard on and have fun. So, I'm not out here torquing the hell out of this thing. Alright, we'll get our chain off, and we'll take the motor off. Okay, so let's get this chain off. Go ahead and pick up my link so I don't lose it. chain link. Now she should just come right off. There we go. Set it out of the way for now. Alright, so these are my little spacers. Alright guys, so these are my little spacers that I made. This tire was so big it was hitting the torque converter. And I could have put the plate up higher, but my goal is maybe to put a 420 on here at one point. I'm probably not going to stick with a 212 forever. That's just not what I'm going for here. So that's why I have these little risers here for the engine. Alright, just in case y'all were wondering. Alright, so now, if you'll see here, I've got lock nuts on the back of these bolts. I'm going to take these lock nuts off and use regular nuts and lock washers. That way, when I'm trying to put it back on, I don't have to worry about this head spinning really bad. It's easier to use a lock washer and a nut, a regular nut, than a lock nut, because the lock nut's going to want to spin this head. So what I'm going to do is take some metal hangers and cut them up and weld it from here to here on both sides, and then staple it. And then I'll put my padding on, my vinyl wrap, put everything together, and then I can come back in and put my lock washers and my nuts on the bolts. So that's my plans on the seats. Alright guys, let's get busy. Alright, so I went ahead and cut this rear bar back off the roll cage. It just wasn't completely straight, and the problem was I didn't have the bolt up there in it. This piece is designed to just be held on with a bolt, so I'm going to go ahead and get this. You see there's a little gap there, which I'm just going to have to fill her in. Alright, we are back to bare frame. Well, I'm going to start by taping up the stickers, the original stickers right here. I don't know why they came out two different colors like that. I guess maybe this thing was half sitting in the sun, so half of it got more faded than the other, because this side of the go-kart looks whiter anyway. Even right here looks more duller red than right here. So that was my guess. Maybe half of it was sitting in the sun, the other half was sitting under something. Who knows? Who cares? But I'm going to tape that up. Got my blue tape there and some newspapers. We're going to tape that up and take this into the motor room and get it ready for paint. I have to take me some tarps, cover all my motors and stuff up, get that room ready. I've already got the sawhorses set up over there. So let's go ahead and get that knocked out, and we will be right back. Alright, so I've got it set up. I'm about ready to throw some paint on it. We're going to do black roll cage and a red frame. I'm not going to bring my camera in here while I'm painting, because I don't want paint on it, and I can't find nothing to cover it up with that I think will work good enough. I got some plastic bags, some clear Ziploc bags. I just don't think it'll be good enough, so I'm gonna just paint it and then I'll bring it out later. Alright guys. Alright. I don't know if you can see that very well, but we got a little bit of the first coat on, so I'm gonna come back tomorrow, throw some more on her. I don't got it finished. I just threw the roll cage paint on and a little bit of the red paint on, so that's almost what she's going to look like. I'll come in for a minute, show you guys. We got some gloss on this baby, but I'm going to tape off the roll cage and alright, we're going to get this finished. Alright, well, that's going to conclude this video, guys. That's all I got for it.